Action! Okay, so this is our lesson today. We're going to review geometry. Some of you have seen this, some of you haven't. Some won't remember a lick, and that's fine. You do need to know the stuff. You need to have it memorized. Sarah? No, do not buy a geometry set. All you will need for grade 10 is a protractor, which is one of these like half circles. Okay. Yeah, I'm recording. And also the other thing you need is a ruler. But that's all. That's all we really look at. Okay, so protractor for measuring angles.
I have a ruler.
Good. Well done. Hey, Miranda has a ruler, everyone. Just to let you know. Good. All right. Thank you, Miranda. Good. Okay. So let's continue. Whoops.
What page are we?
You're on this one. It says a geometry review lesson. Okay. So first thing we want to know, I do quite a bit of shorthand. So we should say for A, we're saying that triangles, that's a triangle, apostrophe S, triangles add to what? 180 degrees. It's not just the triangles, but it's their angles. Okay, so I really should have said triangle angles add to 180 degrees. This symbol right here, that means angle. Okay, so last year meant less than, but it's also a symbol used for angle. And if we have apostrophe S, it's angles. Yes?
Why does it have like the one and like the two?
Okay, so we're going to talk about that right now. Okay. So what we have here for naming angles, you can use numbers, letters, or 3 letters. So if I have a triangle right here, and inside we'll put the number 2. So we have angle 2. Now we can also call it, say, ACT. We can also call it angle A, so capital letter. And that's the vertex. Okay, this in the middle is the vertex. It's the corner. Vertex is fancy math speak for corner. Okay, so angle 2 equals angle A, so that's one way you can describe the angle. Or, I should have used the angle symbol in front of the A, we can call it angle CAT with the vertex in the middle. Okay. Or we can call it angle what? What other combination of letters? TAC. It's T-A-C. The vertex, again, is in the middle. So where your vertex is really important because really that's the angle. Okay? Now we can call it, in grade 10, we call it Greek letters like alpha, theta, beta. Don't need to know that right now. We're just going to call it angle 2, angle A, or angle CAT. All right? Any questions? So let's have a look up top here. All angles add to 180. So we can say angle 1 equals the total triangle sum, the sum total, minus 100 degrees, which is 80, minus 50 degrees, and what does it equal? 30 degrees. So angle 1 is 30 degrees. You must have your degree symbol. That's like not having meters or centimeters. So it's our unit. Because later in grade 9, 10, 11, like 11, 12, university, you can measure angles in radians or gradients. So we want to make sure we're telling everyone, hey, we're using degrees. And there's 3 different ways to measure angles. Any questions? Neha, can you just close the door because I just hear Mr. McCarthy. Thanks. Yeah, Eva first. Get your hands up.
The 180, is it just like that's just what it all?
Every single triangle adds up to 180 degrees. It's a law. Don't break the law. Okay?
Oh, it's like half the square and breaking it down.
Yeah, that's one way of saying it. The other thing is if you cut this in half, this would be 50, this would be 90, and this would be angle 2. They make a straight line, which is 180 degrees. So if you cut it up and then rearrange it, you'll always do that. Okay? Yes?
Wouldn't it be easier just to add the 50 and the 100 and then minus that 180?
Yeah, and totally you can do that. That's really good math skills, Paige.
Okay.
Okay? So Paige said, well, why don't you go 150 minus 180? Absolutely. You can do this different ways. I just want to show you the bare basics here. Okay? Good. What's this symbol mean? 90 degrees. So I can tell you numbers without telling you numbers. You need to know your symbols. So in angle 2, what does it equal? The total, 180 minus 90 minus 50. So it equals 40 degrees. Now again, you could have done 180 minus 140 by combining 90 and 50 together. Okay, so it's your choice how you do the math. I'm just showing you the bare basics. Yes?
So why do you use 180 and 50?
What do you mean?
Like why are we subtracting 180 degrees subtract 90?
Oh, because that's how you figure out the angle that's left over. Because you know that angle 2 plus 50 degrees plus 90 degrees must equal 180 degrees. So if this was the letter x, x plus 50 plus 90 equals 180, to solve it, x would equal 180 minus 90 minus 50. You'd solve for x. Okay? So you'd use subtraction. Yes, Miranda? Nope, ask it.
How do you know, like, how does it tell you that 90 degrees? Like,
What kind of triangle is this? Isosceles triangle. So the law of isosceles triangle state you have two equal slant sides. And that's what's shown to you. It's marked, right? These mean that the sides are equal. Okay. I'll move it down in a second. Sides are equal lengths. Okay. Good. So isosceles triangles have two equal slant sides and also two equal base angles. Now if you turn the triangle on the side or upside down, the base angles are still opposite your equal slant sides. So if those sides there are equal, you know that these must also be equal. Okay, those are your base angles. Okay. Good. So angle 3 equals 70 degrees. You don't even have to do any math. You just have to have the rule memorized. Now what do all triangles add up to? 180. So for angle 4, it's 180 degrees minus 70 minus 70. So really you're subtracting 140. So angle 4 must equal 40 degrees. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Let's go on then. So this one's a special one. What kind of triangle is it? Diction. Right triangle? What other kind of triangle is it? Isosceles. So what do you think the name would be then? Bingo. You've actually seen this already in your homework. It's a right isosceles triangles. You saw that when you were doing Pythagoras. Do you really need to know the name? No, but it's kind of cool name though, isn't it? Right isosceles? Love it. Okay. Why you laugh at me? So mean. So mean.
say 0.
Okay. 0. 0. Okay, now angle 4. So this is 90 degrees. So finding the base angles. You're going to use this a lot. Stop. start. Doot, 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 doot. There you go. We take a total of 180. We subtract the 90 degrees. And guess what? We have 90 degrees left over. Now, how many, that 90 degrees is angle 4 and the other base angle. So how are we going to split 90 into 2 equal parts? Divide by 2. So each one is 45 degrees. So you're going to be doing a ton of that all over the homework today. You take your top angle, subtract it, divide by 2. Okay. What kind of triangle is E? Equilateral. So this one has 3 equal sides, as well 3 equal angles. So what's our total sum for all triangles? And how do we divide it into 3 equal parts? Divided by 3. So angle 5 must be 60 degrees. So I don't even give you a number, but I actually do, just by using the symbols. Okay? Watch out for that, because when you're stuck, look for the symbols for hints and clues about what different values of the numbers are. Okay? Okay, angle F, we call these angles, angle F, letter F, we call these supplementary. But basically that means they add to 180 degrees. But it's such a big word, kids these days, you know, they're used to just the small words that they text, so we don't use the word supplementary. We'll call this angles on a line. Now, probably about 10 years ago, you'd know exactly how to abbreviate that. AOL. That's used to be an internet service provider, just like, you know, a little history lesson for you. I think it's now bankrupt. Whatever. So angles on a line equal how much? 180 degrees. So angle 7, how would we find angle 7? Good. Yeah, we're going to be doing lots of little subtracting this unit. So just quickly bring up the old calc. 180 minus 65, 115 degrees. Okay. Now when you're doing your homework, do not just start punching buttons on your calculator hoping to come up with an answer that you get. Know why you're doing it. You've got to know the reasons or you're going to be lost in 2 days. Every time you do touch your calculator, say the reason in your head or even out loud quietly. Okay, you need to know the reason each time. Next one. We call these ones complementary. That means add to 90 degrees. So it doesn't mean that they're polite to each other and say nice things. It means they add to 90 degrees. So if the side over here, these two lines are 90, that means over here it's 90 degrees as well. So angle 8 equals the grand total of 90 minus 65 degrees. Okay, so again, if they add to 90, then you can subtract from 90. And this one I'm not good at subtracting, so 25 degrees. And you know what they teach you in grade 2? Is you can go, oh, well, 65 plus what equals 90, and turn the subtraction to an addition. So that could be useful this unit. That's, you know what, that's almost like, oh, what if I, instead of putting a blank there, put the letter, oh, see? You guys did algebra back in grade 2.
What? That's not true.
It's hey, I'll show you my son's homework. It's exactly like that.
Well, maybe
Yep.
your son's smarter than us.
My actual grade 2 teacher.
That could be true, but sorry.
Actually,
It's
the
good.
teacher did use X.
Or
See?
they'd use like something really cute, like
A little box or star. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, why can't
Oh wait, yeah, I remember.
We're not.
So, who here skateboards? Who's a skateboarder?
Yep. No, I'm not.
No?
I'll break it down.
Skateboards are dying breeds. Oh well.
Skateboarding is awesome.
Okay. Angles on a point. All the way around, how much? That's right. 360 degrees. So if you know a couple of them, it's easy to figure out. Angle 9 equals what? The total minus 110 minus, what other number do I tell you? You all should be screaming it. 90 degrees. That's better. Okay, so watch for your symbols. That was Dustin. D-U-S-T-I-N. Last name Keys. Just kidding.
Yeah, I bet you can't spell it right. K-E-Y-E-S.
Didn't really want to spell his last name on the video, but thanks.
No,
Maybe he's wanted in 7 countries, and now I'm legally liable for that. Thanks.
Okay, well.
Won't be posting this one.
No, but everyone was clapping for me.
Well, that's true. We heard the clap too. Okay, next one. Not appropriate. I know, but I'm not. I. So, this is a special one. We used to call these vertically opposite, but that was just too long for you guys.
Wait, what's those things that looks like this?
So now we just call it opposite angles.
What are those things that look like this expression?
Opposite angles are equal. What's parallel lines? They used to do it in grade 8. We don't do it anymore. I think you do in grade 10 A and
They
W.
look like that.
Yeah, parallel lines. Okay, so what we have, anytime you have 2 lines that cross, these 2 angles are equal, and I can show using a symbol that these angles are also equal. So you get 2 pairs of equal angles. That's huge. We can use that a lot. So if you're looking up above, what other angle do we know in the right triangle? This angle, right? That's also 80 degrees because they are opposites. Shh, please don't add your own comments. They're opposites. So once we figured out the second, the second angle, now we can figure out the third angle. What's angle 1? What's the rule? Triangles add to 180. So you take the total sum, minus 80 minus 40, which is like subtracting 120. So you get 60 degrees for angle 1. Okay? Yeah, Tony? Okay. Any questions? We've just covered the same rules several times here, okay? Last couple. So, how do we find angle 2? What do we have to do? Because we're given a number that's outside the triangle. Page.
Do you get 590 and 120 together? Right.
Close. From outside the triangle, you need to find the inside of the triangle. Because those 2 angles add up to 180 degrees. That's a straight line. Yes, Sarah. Yes, for sure.
So then what you do is 180 minus 120.
Yep.
Get your angle. Angle.
Good.
And then you put 180 minus 60 minus 9 because it's
So you need to find that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So from the inside angle, you use your triangle rule. Okay. Then from your triangle rule, you can then find angle 2, because you can then go to the outside of the triangle. So this one will be 180 minus 90 minus 60, which equals 30 degrees. So you have to do 2 pieces of work, and now you can find angle 2. Angle 2 equals a straight line, right? A straight line's 180 minus 30. So it's going to equal 150 degrees. That's a pretty good question, isn't it? Okay. Now what we don't, like, you'll end there, but what we do is we kind of lead you through there, because we'll tell you which ones to find angle 2. Okay. Okay, 2 more, here we go. C is the center of the circle. So right away, what should you mark on your triangle? What kind of triangle do you have? Why do you have an isosceles? That's right. Always mark the radii, which is plural for radius, as equal. Okay. So how do you figure out angle 3? I'll let you figure that out, but you want to look back here at D. Look at D. What did you do? Take 180 degrees, and what do? Minus 50 degrees. That's going to be the bottom 2 angles. The bottom 2 angles. Yep, now you got to split it into 2 equal angles. So divide by 2, 65 degrees.
Uh,
65 degrees. There you go.
you still get the mark right if like you make it a degree thing colored in.
Half mark off. Okay. Okay, last one. What do I tell you? Fill in the numbers I just told you. Go. Look at your symbols for L. What are the numbers? Write them on your triangle, please. What kind of triangle is it? Equilateral. So what are all the angles? 60, 60, 60. What does a straight line equal?
180.
So 60 minus 160.
So 180 minus 60. Oops.
590.
Sorry? 120 degrees. Okay, this is just like K now. Now we have the top number of an isosceles triangle. Find angle 4, please. Well, be careful. Look at note K. Did you just divide by 2, or did you do something else first?
I can't remember.
Read it. Then you have to subtract it from 180.
Oh. Okay,
So the bottom 2 now the bottom 2 angles are 60, so how do we find one of them? 5 by 2. Okay. 30 degrees.